on, girl, let's scream.
I am a god.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. This is the part where you run.
Come on, scream.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Scream, a podcast where we dive into our favorite horror movies, and it is Stephenie Meyer March. I'm Parker.
And I'm Stevie.
I'm Keaton.
And today we're looking at 2010's The Twilight Saga, Eclipse, directed by David Slade.
Join us as we journey once again back to Forks,
Back
Washington.
Back to fucking Forks.
And learn all about everyone's extended backstories.
What backstory? Are you ready to scream, girl?
Come on, girl.
Let's scream. Can I say something unrelated first?
Sure.
Whenever we do the introductions and you're like, I'm Parker, I'm Stevie, I always feel like Tracy Turnblad when she gets put on the fucking college. And I'm Tracy! Like, that's how I feel every single time.
That is you. You are. You know what? I've always said you and Tracy Turnblad, same person.
Same person.
Wow.
That's how I feel, though, when I say I'm Keaton.
It is very Corny Collins.
Yeah.
Well,
you played Corny
I did
Collins.
play Corny Collins in high school, so if the shoe fits, wear it, I guess. We're talking about Eclipse in Twilight.
And we just had an eclipse.
Yeah, that was fucking cool.
We just had an eclipse.
Yeah, we're in an area where we could
see a blood moon eclipse.
we could see like the perfect eclipse.
It was like crazy.
That was cunty. Was it kind of embarrassing, but like, I cheered. I was like, woo! Did you guys cheer for it?
I didn't.
I
Was it
guess
like 2 a.m?
Oh, well, I'm talking about...
the one from last summer.
I'm
No.
talking about the one from last summer. The
Oh,
one that was most recent, I wasn't...
I was gonna say, that was, what's today, Sunday? That was like Thursday or Friday. We had a lunar eclipse.
Yeah, we had a blood moon,
It was-
wasn't it?
And it was a lunar eclipse.
Oh.
If you stayed up till like 2:35.
Well, I'm talking about the one
And
that
the-
was over the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lunar eclipse, like a actual eclipse.
Solar eclipse.
Solar.
We were on our deck, and I have a picture of Stevie that I should post to the pod of them like staring up at with our glasses.
But did you guys cheer? That's what I want to know. Because I started cheering it, and then I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. I'm an adult.
No, we just were like shocked.
I mean, it was cool.
It was cool.
Because it was like, it truly, to just see like it gets so dark.
Yeah. It
was
was
like,
like nighttime outside.
It was weird. It was very weird. I
I'm
loved it.
Actually,
And then you could like see it when it was like coming back. You could like see the line.
Yeah.
Like, it was really cool. It's really cool.
I love a good eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this movie...
This eclipse.
This is not a good eclipse.
This is not a cunty eclipse.
It's
But I
better.
think this is miles better than New Moon. I
Absolutely.
really think
this
is
is a house divided issue because Stevie and I both like.
This was my first time watching it.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was much more entertained.
Okay.
I agree. I think there's more plot development. I think it stands a little bit more alone, not just setting up the next one, but I think it has its own plot that just exists in the movie, and I think they went back to the blue filter a little bit, just a soft blue filter.
It's
Really?
not as,
Yeah,
It's not as bright as New Moon, but I don't think it's not. I didn't think it was too blue.
It was a little blue. They used a lot of blue lamps.
I thought it was like dark.
I saw blue, and I thought we went back to kids being kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you now? You talk. You say something.
I don't like Eclipse. And
I mean, it's not a good movie.
I don't think it's better than New Moon. I didn't like New Moon either, but I think we're just getting worse, to be honest.
I think we got a little better.
See,
Do
I
you
like the
know why?
directing in this one more, but I do still think there's some weird choices.
I think it's the story for me. I think it's just the story itself. And I think that...
It could have been, I mean, the thing with all of the Twilight movies and just the book series, New Moon and Eclipse, I always think can be easily combined.
Yeah, sure. I think
And like,
that there's...
it could just be a tighter story.
It just needs to be tighter because, like, I just feel like this movie is riddled with long monologues. I don't care about the characters anymore. I'm gonna come out and say it. Like, at this point in the story, who gives a shit? Like, make a decision, I feel like. And I just feel like it's a lot of conversations and it feels like a drama. It feels like an episode of, like, True Blood or The Vampire Diaries and not, like, a story that could stand alone as its own substantial movie. It just feels like we're spinning our wheels from New Moon into Breaking Dawn. and there's not really like much of an impact on the overall story here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Because for the overall story, this one I don't think really develops much. It's cleaning up stuff that came from the first two movies.
Yeah. And I like my movie to change the status quo by the end of it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this doesn't really impact this overall story of the Twilight series.
No, truly.
So that's my biggest qualm with it. The directing is fine. There's some shit that I don't like. There's some shit that I like. I think this director does the horror really well.
I agree.
I don't think he does the action or the drama or the romance very well. And I feel like that's a big part of this particular story in the franchise. And I feel like it's just boring. I'm telling y'all,
See,
the whole time I'm watching this, I'm thinking, boring, lazy.
Yeah.
Boring, yawning, sloppy, lazy.
Lazy.
I just think, I'm not going to sit here and say it's better than Twilight, but I think it was better than New Moon in a lot of ways. Because I also thought all of those things, but I thought it was a little bit more, not grossly romantic like in New Moon, where it was like disgusting. I didn't want to see it.
I think this one goes a little bit
quicker.
The pacing is a little bit. It's like
I think that
they got their shit. They're like, no,
that-
we're just doing this.
I think that the monologues are more spaced out in this one as opposed to New Moon. I felt like they were all heavy in one section. It basically was, okay, you do your monologue, then you do yours, then I'll do mine, then we'll travel, and then. But this movie, it was like monologue, something has to happen. Monologue, something has to happen.
I also will say, here's the thing: Stephenie Meyer likes to explain stuff, but not show stuff.
Right.
If that makes sense, it's more like we're going to talk about what we're going to do, but we're not going to show us doing it.
Sure.
Because there's a moment in this movie, I think Emmett says to Bella, trying to walk and chew gum at the same time, like, because she got injured or something. And I'm like, that's not really this movie, though. I'm like, it's so much of, like, we're going to talk about something, and then it'll be an action scene, but we won't talk or, like, do anything during the action scene. Then we're going to talk some more.
Exactly, and it's
and
like...
then we're going to do some action.
You know what that is? It's the importance of a montage in film. I think that, like, what makes New Moon a little better with the exposition shit is that it utilized more montages, whereas this movie, it utilizes more just conversations.
Yeah.
You're right. Like, they can't, like, have them both going at the same time.
Yeah.
And a montage is, like, you're seeing things happening in sequence, but you're also getting narration. You're also getting conversations laid over it. So, like, it just comes together in a more
I do think...
tight...
I think also, though, why I prefer this over New Moon is just Bella's depressed half that fucking movie, and so, like, it's just...
But, see, I like depressed Bella. It's entertaining to
and
me.
it's just like...
I don't know. I don't like Eclipse Bella because she just can't fucking make a decision. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't like indecisive Bella.
But she can never make a decision.
Well, I guess she does make a decision at the end of this movie, but it takes her a fucking while to get to
But she
that
never is known for being decisive. We wouldn't have the Twilight. We wouldn't have 4 books if she was decisive.
I agree, but it's just really egregious in this movie.
I also do think the end of this movie drags, but that's my problem with every one of them. I think.
Oh, even Twilight.
Twilight.
It's
It's
like,
like,
come on.
the
Put
10-minute
a
car
period.
commercial.
Look, we're analyzing pussy hairs here at the end of the day because none of these fucking movies are good anyway. Who cares what order we think that they're ranked in? You know what I mean? Let's get into the meat of it. I don't have anything else to say that isn't like plot related. Basically.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get into it, girls.
All right. So at this point forward, if you have never seen Twilight Eclipse,
Then get out from under your rock.
go and work. Nobody wants to work these days.
No one wants to log into their Peacock.
Get your ass up and watch Eclipse.
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
So yeah, we're gonna get into it, and from this point forward, are y'all ready to scream?
Come on, girl.
Let's scream!
Oh. So Eclipse starts with a spooky scene.
I first thing I said was, oh, look at the horror.
I know. In this movie, hey, David Slade, we said in the intro, he does a good job with this.
Yes.
It's storming. We're in Seattle. A guy is like walking home and he gets attacked and bitten by a vampire.
That was
Very scary.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I thought it was
like
Michael Murray at first, but it was not.
He's giving kind of Chad Michael Murray,
Yeah.
I guess. He's kind of given everybody who was famous in that time period.
Right.
Very One Direction looking guy. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like.
yeah.
See, okay, so this is why I didn't mention this in the beginning, but there's a lot of good horror sequences in this.
Right.
I think this one has, and I think that's why this also stands above New Moon for me.
Okay. See, I wish it was all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not really his fault. It's Stephenie Meyer's fault.
Yeah.
she should have, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think these series would have worked better if they kind of were more inspired by the books. Because if this had been more focused on just, like, the kind of the vampire battle, like the war, the army, I think it'd be much more interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like,
100%.
anytime they were talking about this, I was like, okay, I'm interested now.
Yes, thank you. That's what I don't like about Eclipse.
It's all of the side stuff that has to do with their relationship, because this is the first movie where I feel like the relationship takes the, like, side story.
Yes.
It's just not interesting, because I'm like, there's really no development in the relationship.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, that was a cool intro. We all agree. Then, well, first we get the title card, Eclipse.
And it was an eclipse.
So that, New Moon did that. New Moon. Remember New Moon?
Ew Moon!
No, it was going backwards, so it was Ill Moon.
Ew
Moon. We cut back to Miss Bella doing her poetry again. Oh my god.
She's always doing poetry.
She's still not like the other girls.
She's so
still quirky. Okay. Bella and Edward are being annoying in the meadow.
Gay.
Let's face it.
Gay meadow.
Right? And they're just discussing their marriage. I don't care.
You know what? You are 18 and 109 years old. Stop talking about your marriage.
I don't care. But that's what this scene's about. This is going to be a lot of, I don't care about this scene. What I will say, my takeaway from this scene is I miss Edward's hairspray. Do you guys remember Edward's hairspray in the first movie? His hair was spiky and it looked great.
I will say, the makeup though, this is the best it's looked in the
I
whole
agree with
series.
makeup.
The makeup and the contacts are the best they've looked in the whole series.
Not the contacts. They still look the best in Twilight.
Well, yes, Twilight still had the best
But
these are much better than New Moon.
Yes, they're. Well, I wouldn't say much better.
I would.
They don't look as
Except
bad.
for Jane's. Jane's were still. Ooh.
That's true.
Jane's were like.
Miss Jane was like, look at me.
Red contacts.
Everyone else.
Do you guys notice something?
Yeah, she was
like,
the girl
on
with
my face.
She was the girl with blue eyes.
She was. Everyone else was like a much more muted version than New Moon, and then Jane's were the. Dakota Fanning said, "I want the same ones."
I know, but I just think it should have stayed exactly like how it was in Twilight.
Twilight. No,
thought
Twilight.
Well, I
was the best.
agree, but
Twilight did everything the best except for the foundation.
Right. But Edward's hairspray was really important to his look, and I don't think Rob looks good with this haircut without the hairspray.
I agree.
His hair needs to be styled. I think it makes him look like not as like powerful. You know what I mean?
It's not really.
Does it complement
powerful.
his facial structure as well? He needs some volume on the top of that head to account from his ginormous crimson chin, chin. He is literally the crimson chin, and I love that about him.
I love it.
But yeah, not into this Edward look, and he kind of looks glowed down from his other looks in the series. It's important to me because that's what this is about. Like at the end of the day, we're watching Twilight Eclipse. It's because I want to see hot guys, and I want them to be styled well. So already, I'm not interested in Edward as much anymore.
K-pop off, queen.
Charlie bitches out Bella
Right.
for what she did in New Moon.
You Moon.
Ew Moon. He is an Edward hater, but a Jacob apologist. And he encourages Bella. He's a Jacob stan. I mean, truly. He encourages Bella to spend time with Jacob instead of Edward.
Yeah, because Jacob is going to be better for her.
Which is like, if he actually knew, I don't think so. Like, I think when we
Right.
get into it emotionally, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's true at all, but
But she can't like explain.
She can't explain.
But I love Charlie.
She could be like, me and Jacob aren't friends anymore.
Right.
He's being an asshole.
He hit me.
There's...
Why?
Okay.
She's had no problem lying before.
Right.
Right, girl, just lie. Whatever. All your shit is vampires. Like, who gives a fuck?
Who cares?
She sneaks out to go try and see Jacob, but Edward has disabled her truck because, you know, he's still toxic. I'm not saying Edward's not toxic.
Everyone's toxic.
But everyone's toxic.
But they
Because
bounce back.
Alice is a little narc.
Alice,
They bounce back and
Because
forth,
Alice
like-
saw a vision of Bella on the reservation.
Exactly.
And then they take, because they all take turns being the most toxic.
They're all annoying.
It's like a talking stick. Okay, your turn to be toxic.
No, except for
Here
one.
you go.
Rosalind.
Who the fuck is
Rosalie.
Rosalind?
I was like Rosalind.
Rosalind. I don't know their names. See, I never know their names. I always get them wrong.
Bitch, her name is Rosalie.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She
But
has,
I
like,
agree with
5
you.
minutes of screen time in every movie.
I know,
so.
but I agree with Hugh. She is the most iconic bitch. I don't know why you
Oh,
don't like her.
no,
people.
wait. Jennifer.
Yeah, right.
Who the fuck is Jennifer?
That's
Anna
Anna
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
Her name's Jessica.
Jessica.
Jesus Christ.
I thought that was Jennifer.
You know what? Keep
Oh
it
my
with me.
god. Okay, but I will say during this scene, great soundtrack, okay?
Oh, that's true in all the movies. That's true.
We
in all the
continue to
movies.
get great soundtracks. This song is called Let's Get Lost. I think it's a gorgeous song.
Yeah, I know. I
It's
loved it.
Such a cool vibe. At school, we see the friend group, again, who continue to be the best part of this movie.
I know every time either Anna Kendrick or Charlie are on that screen,
Invested.
I'm smiling. I am so happy.
Miss Anna Kendrick is the valedictorian of the class.
Of course she is.
And so she's writing her speech. And you know what? I want her to have a movie.
Me too.
I want to watch Jessica's movie.
Stephenie Meyers, get on that book.
Right? She's the best character. Alice and them all like sit together now. Like
Yeah.
there's no longer like a school divided, which I thought that was kind of cute.
Why can't we be friends?
It was cute. Yeah.
I love it.
And Alice wants to throw a party for graduation
Right.
at their house. And they're like, Jessica's like, I've never been to your house.
Right. Colin's house? Oh my god.
And then I forget, I think it was Susie Crabgrass goes, nobody's ever been to their house.
Mm-hmm. I love Susie. Still don't know her name. Her character's name.
Ashley?
Maybe Ashley.
Angie?
Angie. And she is Susie Crabgrass. But then Miss Alice gets a vision. She pulls a Raven Simone.
Like a prophecy.
She gets a vision almost like a prophecy. Yeah. Wait, speaking of Wicked, I was thinking about this. We should do an episode of Moments of Clarity right before Wicked comes out, and it should just be about Wicked and like the Wizard of Oz. And I'll paint myself green. Stevie's so excited about it. Okay.
I'm so excited. I'll be the Tin Man.
You think
I'll
so?
paint myself silver.
Okay, yeah. We'll just, I just wanted an excuse to paint myself. We'll just paint ourselves. Okay. So Edward drops Bella off at the police station. You know, her dad's a cop.
Right.
A cop, including Charlie.
Oh, including Charlie.
I know, right? It's so sad. I'm like, oh, Charlie's a cop. That's right. I mean, never mind. Edward explains that some people in Seattle keep going missing, including a young guy named Riley, who we see in the flyer. It's the guy from the intro.
The introduction. We know what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. Charlie comes out. And Edward is like, oh, Bella, don't forget. My parents got you tickets to go see your mom in Florida. You better use that since, you know, you're going to be graduating soon. And we know that graduation is code for that's when Bella's going to get bitten, bitch.
Turned into a vampire.
Yes.
And you can't go to sunny Florida
Exactly.
as a vampire.
So she'll never see her mom again. I'm like, y'all can Skype. It would have been Skype at that time.
You could Skype. And then
Just Skype.
Just a few years later, FaceTime.
Right, exactly.
Like, come on.
It's not that big of a deal. Anywho. And Charlie is really excited about this until he realizes that Edward is also gonna go with her.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I hate Edward. Edward's that bitch I hate.
Oh.
I mean, after what he did and how depressed she got,
I get it.
You'd be like,
I mean, yeah, if I was Charlie, like, I'd be big protective daddy. Like
I'd be an
Charlie.
Edward hater, and I'd probably be a Jacob apologist. Ugh, I can't blame
You
Charlie.
already are, so.
No, I am not
I
a Jacob
know.
apologist. We will get there. I did jerk it to him, but you know.
you were jerking it to Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner, exactly. So Bella goes to visit her mom in Florida with Edward, and I thought this was kind of cute.
And
Like
is
the
it-
mom she's really cute. She reminds me of like Kelly Preston from the Amanda Bynes movie. What a Girl Wants. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Or Kelly Preston, she's the mom in like Sky High, or like, what's that one called? The Snowman movie with Michael Keaton. Do you know what I'm talking about? Jack Frost.
Oh, Jack Frost.
She's just always like the sweet, cute mom.
She's
and
a mom.
things. And that's who this actress reminds me of. She just gives like cutesy mom energy.
Yeah.
She gives Bella this quilt that is like all of their trip t-shirts.
Yeah,
I thought that
it's
was
so
cute.
I had one of those.
Did you? That's adorable.
My grandma made me one out of all of my show choir shirts.
A show choir shirt? That's adorable.
So for my freshman year and my senior year, every competition we went to, she bought a shirt. And then my senior year, she gave it to me as a graduation present.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Gigi. We love Gigi.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Does Gigi listen?
No.
Okay.
She doesn't know how podcasts work.
She's like, bitch, I don't know what fucking podcast is.
but she would if she knew what that was.
Right, exactly.
She's the kind of person who would listen to a podcast and be like, so a radio show.
Right.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what it is, basically. Meanwhile, the Cullens have a chase scene.
And it's bad. This is one of the bad things about New Moon, is we're degressing in our special effects budget or time, because the wolves look bad, the running looks bad.
The running, that's what it is. Okay, thank you. The running is terrible. It always looks like they're in front of a green screen. It reminds me of Marvel. Like modern day Marvel, how shitty that CGI is. That's what this looks like, and that's why I'm like, I don't like this movie as much, because it's either all the talking or these action sequences, and the action just can feel my eyes glazing over. And you guys know me, I don't like action.
No.
So I particularly don't like bad action that is not believable to the human eye.
Yeah, no, all the action scenes were a little...
It's a lot of
Kill
gymnastics.
Bill.
I love Kill Bill.
That's action.
It's very well done action.
Yeah. So I don't think you don't like action, you just don't like bad action.
Yeah, and I like it when it's like cunty and like I'm invested.
Very well choreographed.
Like Charlie's Angels with Drew Barrymore.
You know, I love Charlie's Angels. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but Kill Bill, that first movie.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. I love Kill Bill.
I've never seen it.
I love the second one too.
Yeah, second one's good, but I think the first one's like...
The first one's the standout for me.
It's just so good.
So
We'll
yeah,
watch it
they're the Cullens are chasing Victoria. She's now been recast.
As Bryce Dallas Howard.
This is hard.
Jessica Chastain wannabe.
She is not. I don't like her.
She sucks.
She sucks.
No, it's not that.
I like Bryce Dallas Howard.
This is not her role.
But
no.
We already had this character established in the first two movies. I think Rachel, I can't remember her last name, played her very well. She was such a good villain. I was really excited to see what she would do with it. I think there was just scheduling issues, so or something. So it ended up being Bryce, and I just don't buy her as a villain at all. Like, she does a great job at being like kind of a uppity, like
mousy.
It just doesn't work. It's just like she's de-ossified.
De-ossified.
Because like Bryce Dallas Howard in Nosedive, the Black Mirror episode, phenomenal. Phenomenal actress.
I like her character in the Jurassic Park movies. Kind of, I think she does a good job at that sort of character.
But she's a nepo baby, and it really shows in this movie.
It really fucking shows.
Because her dad got some connection to get her in this movie.
Come on now, yeah.
Or
they were just like, hey,
you're Ron Howard's daughter. Like,
so here, you can play the new Victoria. Yeah.
It's diabolical.
I know, so I don't care about Victoria's subplot anymore, because it's not my Victoria.
Not my
Victoria. Not my Victoria.
Where is the fur coat?
Exactly.
Again,
they gave her this like ugly. You know who she looks like? Michaela Reed from Dead by Daylight, and y'all know how I feel about Michaela
We
Reed.
hate Michaela Reed. Yeah, no, you're right. And I don't like the dark red hair. I like when she was more of like a
natural red,
foxy red. Yeah,
when it looked real.
When it looked real, and now it's just
that first movie.
Such a
because I didn't even like it in the second one, even though it was Rachel still.
Yeah,
but she just served because she looked so cold and like when she would do shit. Whereas Bryce just looks very like
quirky
and innocent.
She's also a quirky girl.
With what I'm doing, and then when she gets angry, and there's a clip
when she's like,
it's really funny,
it looks
but
stupid.
Looks bad.
Yep,
she just can't do it.
Love you though, love you, Bryce. Friend of the pod.
We love Bryce.
I know you're listening.
Come on the show.
Defend yourself.
Defend this
We'd
performance.
love to hear your take on this. But yeah, what happens in this scene, though, is that Emmett accidentally crosses into the wolf territory. And so the wolves, like...
Start mauling him.
And get mad at them, and then just let Victoria, the actual bad vampire, like, get away. So...
Toxic.
The wolves can't fucking do their job either. The
Right.
Collins suck, the wolves suck.
Everyone sucks.
Everyone sucks. When Bella and Edward get back to Forks, Jacob shows up in the school parking lot. And he looks like, I'm a bad girl now.
I'm a bad girl now.
It's very JoJo Siwa, Karma era. And him and Edward have a cunt off, like usual. Jacob is exposing, he's spilling Edward's tea about the chase scene.
He's clocking the child.
Basically saying, like, leave us alone. Like, stay off our...
He's like, hey,
Stay off our
Edward.
land.
He's like, hey, Edward, if the child is tea, but the finna is gag, sis, I'm dead as a child.
And then Edward said, girl, real. Girl, real.
Oh my god, this would be so much better if Flop Talk / Stan Twitter bot wrote it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bella realizes that Edward was lying to her, so she's like, I'm gonna go with Jacob now. And she gets on Jacob.
I'll show him.
Yeah. She gets on the back of Jacob's motorcycle and they go to the reservation and they're reunited with the Wolfpack bitches.
Yeah.
She meets Leah Clearwater, who's like, I'm edgy. That's
I'm the girl wolf.
yeah.
There's girl wolves now.
Yeah. I'm gonna wolf out right here and prove
For
that
no
I'm a
reason.
wolf. For no reason.
And when I
Just to
become
show that
a
I'm
wolf,
wolf.
my nails
And
are
then
still painted.
Scarface shows up. She's like, hey, Bella. It's like, hey,
Not
Scarface.
Scar. Oh my
God.
It's not a real scar.
Stevie.
It doesn't matter. That is fucked up.
First,
You need to do a RuPaulology right now. Stevie, I'm going to need you to tweet out a RuPaulology to Emily from Twilight Eclipse
and while
tonight.
we're on Rupologies, have you apologized
I like your
to Soul
scar.
Surfer?
Can I call you Scarface? Like, if it were Gold Rich, you should be like, I like your scar. Can I call you Scarface?
That is exactly what
That
it is.
is
That would be me with her.
Oh, you have Tourette's? Can I call you Twitchels?
Twitchels.
Yeah. Yep. Jacob explains that it's kind of awk right now because of the fact that Sam imprinted on Emily, even though he was with Leah before. And so we get the explanation of imprinting.
That werewolf is destined to be with that person.
Yeah. Okay. Clap if you care. No one clap.
Oh,
Okay.
no one clapped. No one bought the album.
No one bought the album? Yeah. Bella lets Jacob know that she will be turned into a vampire at graduation. And Jacob just starts being like a huge asshole to her. He throws a wrench. Like,
you don't have to use the F word with me.
right? And then he starts making racist comments about vampires.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't know if it's racist, but damn.
He's like, they're leeches. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa. That feels like a slur.
He says,
That feels like
they're not even alive. And it's like,
Oh,
wow. Your true colors are showing.
wow.
It's 2010, Jacob. Things are different now. We don't say that about people.
We're gonna have woke in a few years.
Right. We're almost to woke. Get with it. At Bella's house, we see Riley from the intro. He has become a vamp. Duh.
We saw him go.
A vamp.
He's got a vamp. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling him vamps now. It's my new thing.
Very millennial culture of you.
Because I'm
shorten words.
Yeah, because I'm just so millennial. I'm so young and relevant. And he gets up in Charlie's face while he sleeps. I was like, kiss.
Not kiss.
But then Bella comes home and the vampire disappears, whatever.
This is a really weird cut.
You should write a
Because
fanfiction.
it's supposed to be a gap.
Charlie
It's supposed to be
Riley.
so it's dark in the house because Charlie's asleep on the couch. And then Bella shows up, but all the lights are now suddenly on. So then you're kind of wait. And then Charlie just pops out. And
I
it's
thought that too.
and I was like, this
Yeah,
would
it
be
was
more
a weird
effective
cut.
if the lights were still off. And Charlie turned on the light. Hey, what's up?
Or we saw
no.
him wake up.
I don't think this director's that good.
I mean, there was, like I said, there were choices.
Yeah.
There was some really weird choices.
Because, like, he does the horror vibe well sometimes,
Yeah.
but I don't
But
think...
that was a bad horror
I don't
vibe.
think this was good.
This is just a weird cut.
Yeah.
Like, there's some really weird cuts in this movie.
I agree. Yeah.
Stay tuned for Parker's fanfic of Charlie and Riley.
Oh, wait! Yes.
You could... it starts off here.
Here. Oh, my God.
And he wakes up to kiss him.
And he's like...
And then Charlie's
hey,
like, oh,
what's going
and
on?
then Bella comes home and he's like, oh, leave before my daughter sees us.
Wait. And then we can do a moment of clarity where I read it.
Yeah.
On the
Oh my
pod.
god, wait. It could even then be like... You know how, like...
I'll dress up as Charlie.
Charlie learns that Bella's a vampire. It could be like, I can't believe she's a vampire because I'm going to become a vampire for Riley.
Okay. And then
We'll do it. Riley can survive at the end of this movie. Spoiler.
Sis, I'm dead as a child. I'm dead as a fucking child.
Charlie saves.
Oh my god, we're gonna do it. Yes. Great idea, guys. Okay, so Edward's like, there was a vampire here.
Yeah, they like walk in and he's like... She's like, I know, I smell like a wet dog.
No.
He's like...
You don't understand. Selena.
And he like pushes her.
Joker. Someone's here.
Robert Pattinson was such a great Batman.
I also think it's great because Edward's got the hungry black eyes now, so he can finally act again.
Yeah.
Hey, let's celebrate that.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? Give it
Yeah,
up.
woo! He's got the black eyes, which look way better. And I think, honestly, it would be cunty if all vampires just had black eyes all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
It just makes them look scarier. I mean, the red is kind of scary, but only in the first movie, and then until it gets weird in the second movie. Anyway.
Right.
So they go back to the Cullens' house, who all have the hungry black eyes. And Rosalie continues to be like, now why am I in?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we have to protect Bella. And she's like, bitch, I'm not doing another protection
I am
mission.
not doing another thing for that girl.
I got plans.
I got plans.
That's literally
I'm booked. I have a lunch to get
Y'all,
to.
I got shit going on Friday.
Have you seen my Palm Pilot calendar? It is full.
Right. Like, maybe I could put...
Let me see if I can squeeze you in. Let me pull out my BlackBerry.
Because it would have been a BlackBerry at that time. Yeah. So true.
Oh my god, I'm watching Degrassi right now. We're at the era of the first iPhone.
Shut
And
up.
there was one
It's
where like it was
chunky.
showing her deleting photos, and I was like, that old interface, bring it
Bring it back. Thank you. Thank you.
Bring it back.
I hate the process of deleting photos and like clearing up storage on modern day iPhone. Why does it take so long?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be that difficult.
I didn't have an iPhone before how it is now.
Oh, you were poor. Okay, Bella comes up with a plan for the wolves to watch. I was poor too, so.
I know you are.
Yeah, you know. Okay, so Bella comes up with a plan for the wolves to watch out for Victoria while the Cullens go and feed. I'm like, with this movie, I'm like, does anyone care? Like, clap if you care what the story
there's
is.
a lot of stuff where, like, again, this movie didn't need to be as long as it was.
No, like,
But that's how I feel about all of them.
I feel like I just, like, out of, like, I don't know, obligation, need to discuss the plot, but, like, who cares? I don't know. So, there's tension the next day at Bella's house between Edward and Jacob as they try to work together.
Uh-huh.
And so Bella says, from now on,
I'm Switzerland.
And it's like, Diva,
This
no,
is
you're
getting to
not.
the iconic, like, funny lines.
Yeah.
Some of the funny lines.
Kristen Stewart, she's just doing this thing with her voice where she's just going low.
Have we gotten to the line where Edward says, does he ever wear a shirt?
No, I don't think I took note of that. But there's a lot
it's
of
later in the episode.
He's like,
Yeah.
does he even own a shirt?
which is real.
Why is he always shirtless?
Dude, you can wear a shirt. Put a crop top on even. That'd be cute.
That would have been cute.
Oh, if he just one like the bottom of his titty's gonna
Or
peek out.
like
Right.
open button up.
But
Oh,
all of that
yeah,
would have
this
been
is-
gay. Like, you have to remember, like, this was, like, 2010, and that was still considered gay.
A crop top.
And
was
now, like,
gay.
straight people are all wearing crop tops, but, you know. So Bella goes to spend time with the wolves.
Hell yeah.
Okay. And Edward and Bella play tonsil hockey right in front of Jacob's salad.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh,
Bella,
yeah, they
Bella
do.
likes to show off her dick.
She does. I appreciate
She
that.
knew it would piss off Jacob, and that's why she did it.
They just have these like if there was an Oscar,
But there's also
category for
moments
the
where I'm
most-
like, Why don't they just become a throuple?
That would be so hot.
Like, if they had Oscar Academy for
Modern
the
Twilight.
grossest
Honestly,
kiss.
they'd be a throuple. Edward would be non-binary.
Edward would be non-binary.
Bella would be played by Hunter Schafer. I think we made this joke on the last episode, but like
Or the first one, I don't give a shit.
it's
Woke light.
whatever. Woke light. The woke light saga. Woke clips.
New woke.
New woke.
Breaking woke.
Breaking woke.
Part woke.
Part woke.
This episode is unhinged. We're off the rails. So Bella attends a tribe council meeting where Jacob's dad tells the stories of werewolf history.
Period.
We get this cool, I like this, cool flashback of the original wolf versus the original vampire, like beef.
Yeah.
Like, where it all starts. Back in the day.
Right. Season 1. Like, this one creepy old vampire, he, like, attacked the women of the tribe, and then...
And I thought that was messed up, personally. As a person who loves women,
I know.
who fights for women.
And then his, like, vampire wife came back to, like, get her revenge on the town.
Right.
On the tribe.
On the tribe. And then the third wife, okay, she's not the first wife, she's not the second wife.
She's the third
She's
one.
the third wife of the chief.
Henry VIII.
She cut her wrist, or no, she
Stabs herself.
stabbed
Stomach.
herself to distract the vamp with the blood so that her chief wolf hub, because I'm, millennial, I can shorten words, attack the vamp.
Did she have to... Let me ask this question. This is what... When I sat and I watched this, did anyone else think, did she have to kill herself? Why didn't she just...
Because she was going for it. No one wants to get up and stab themselves.
Like, did you have to go all the way... You didn't have to do all that.
She didn't have to do all that. I agree. I was like, okay, like, we get it. You're into it. We get it. But yeah, so that's like a part of their lore. All this world building. This is the first of many
but this is
flashbacks.
This is a good
one. Okay, then we're in downtown Seattle. Okay.
Again.
Where
And Jinx is there.
Jinx and
Bendel
Bendel
and Creme are
and
walking down.
Robbie Turner are all there.
They're clocking the child. They're walking down the street.
Robbie Turner's taking an Uber.
Oh
no! There's this young girl named Bree Tanner. Okay, now this is part of the lore of Twilight.
She's the side... There's a side book about her.
Novella that Miss Stephenie Meyer wrote called The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, which I also read. It was boring.
I did not read that.
It was boring. But basically, this is this young girl who was turned by Riley. She wakes up and is all like,
What did you do to me?
thirsty. I love the concept of a young girl vampire. We will probably do Interview with a Vampire at some point on this pod. And Kirsten Dunst as the young girl vampire is one of my favorite performances from any movie. I think she's
amazing. She's an amazing actress. She is an amazing actress.
I love her. I love that character of Claudia. And that's what this kind of reminded me of. But like, Bree, she's very like, oh, I'm innocent. And like, I don't want to be a vamp.
Yeah.
Right. Edward and Bella have a philosophical conversation about vampires' souls and religion.
I am kind of getting tired of the souls. Edward, one cares about the souls.
Boring. Who cares?
Like, whenever
Lazy.
his whole motivation is about her soul. Okay, Diva, move on. You're 109.
I don't even want to ruminate on this
Yawning. Sloppy.
It really is like
Lazy.
I hate it. Bella is hanging out with Jacob, and he professes his undying love for her and forces himself on her.
Yes.
Forcefully kisses her.
Disgusting.
He's a pervert.
He's a pervert.
Perverts, get out the forks.
Right now.
The electric chair.
This is great though. She punches him and it breaks her hand. And her reaction should win her the Oscar.
Oscar!
She should have gotten EGOT for this shit.
Give her a Grammy. I don't care.
Oh my. It's so funny.
I've never punched anyone.
It's so fucking funny.
Give her a Tony.
Edward rolls up and is like, don't you ever do that again! He's kind of giving his Batman voice again. like, you better not say that. And they had like this major cunt off on Bella's front lawn. And
Again, this is part 2 of
Meanwhile, she has a smashed hand.
3 fingers broken.
And Charlie comes out, and then we get the great, like, he's like, what happened? And Jacob's like, I kissed Bella, and she broke her hand, punching my face. And that was really good.
Yeah.
That's comedy.
Hey.
Okay, so at the Collins house, Rosalie,
Again.
my diva, she gets pissed.
She always is pissed. She has never once in these movies.
She expresses she's pissed. How about that?
She's never been happy a second in her miserable existence.
She's like, oh, I don't like when y'all joke about Bella becoming a vampire. Like, that's not funny. Like,
she's like, I don't like when you anything. Period. Don't
joke about that.
Don't open your mouth. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Don't breathe near me.
And
I have a gun. That's Rosalie.
Bella's like, Rosalie, you always take it straight to negativity.
I gotta go straight there. And she's like, I had a perfect life, you know.
Right?
She's like, oh.
Yeah, they're
She's like,
like,
Bella, I don't give a shit how perfect your life is. She's like, it's not. She's like, well, mine was.
yeah. This was, okay, my favorite scene in the movie. Can
Yeah.
we talk about it?
We get.
This is my absolute favorite part. Rosalie, they're out on the balcony, and she gives her backstory as to why she's such a huge bitch.
A monologue.
She's like, let me explain why it's such a huge bitch all the time.
Right. She was back in the, like, what, 20s? Or when the fuck was it?
It looked very...
She had a beret on. So
She
I was
did.
Like, she means business.
She's in the South.
She was engaged to be married to this guy, and him and all of his friends drunkenly, like, assaulted her in the middle of the street.
And left her for dead.
Carlisle came. He, like, turned her into a vampire to, like, save her.
So she would die.
And she was like, she said, she's like, he thought he was helping. He wasn't.
And she wanted to die. She was like, I just wanted to die.
Yeah, so she then went on a killing spree, which is so cunty. She would go around in a wedding dress. I know, they should have shown more of this, right?
Yeah,
This
so
is where I
when
was like,
she
oh, I want to see what happened.
When she kicks down that
But again,
door.
it's because these movies were made with the teenagers in mind.
Right.
I think this is a series that if it gets remade,
Give it, like, a rated R.
or just make it for, like, you know, like TV mature, like if it's gonna be a TV series,
Sure,
like
yeah.
Make it bloody.
This would be much better as a series, like a TV series.
As a series, yeah.
And a horror, like I want like American
But
Horror
yeah,
Story
it
level,
could
like,
be. I think
scare.
it could get like, because this, if they expanded on her like hunting all of the guys,
It would have been cunty.
it would have been so cunty.
But this is cool because she would go around in, like, her wedding dress, and, like, the guy who she was going to be married to, he's, like, scared as fuck, like, cowering in his hotel room, like, in the corner, and she barges down the door and gives him, like, a really creepy smile with her red-ass eyes.
Yeah.
wearing a wedding dress,
Wearing
looking
her...
beautiful.
Yes.
So the dress is gonna get covered in blood. which is
Right.
amazing.
See, that would have been cool to see, right? It would have been, like, very Ready or Not. Like,
Yes.
the dress in that movie.
Oh yeah.
But she goes, I was a little theatrical back then. That was really funny. I was like, okay, Stephenie Meyer.
Kathy Griffin bad.
She has the quips. She has the jokes. We then see Riley continuing to make his army of new vamps.
Kind of yells at them. Is this when he yells at them?
I think so, yeah. He's like, control yourselves. I don't know. I'm like, oh, whatever, Riley. Okay,
That's how I feel about Ryan.
Right.
Every time he's on the screen, I'm kind of like, okay.
The actor's not great.
No, he's not. And he wants to be Chad Michael Murray.
Right, but he was giving more, like,
Chad Michael Fleury.
CW. He would have been good on the CW. And that's like, that's not an insult to the people who act on the CW.
But it kind of is.
But, you know, that's all I'll say on that.
Not too much.
We see that the Volturi is watching them from, like, up on the rooftop.
And they don't
Up
give a
on
shit.
the rooftop.
Jane has crazy eyes. She is, Miss Jane tortures her, like, second in command.
Yeah, just for fun.
For, like, questioning her decision making, or her lack thereof of
Like,
decision making. She's like, well, either we let them do what they were created for, or we end them. Decisions. And I'm thinking, Jane, it is so hard to take you seriously with those contacts.
Jane's trying to act all creepy, and I'm like, girl, you are so hard to take seriously with those red contacts.
It was very Jill from Dance Moms with the cowboy hat.
Jane on the Rampage.
It was very Jane on the Rampage. If you've never watched that episode, that's the
Dance
best
Moms.
episode of Dance Moms.
Jill on the Rampage.
Jill on the
season
Rampage. Season 2, I don't know what episode.
Towards the middle.
Yeah.
It's
maybe
like
10 or 11.
It's like 6 or 7. It's like early.
It's the one where you'll see it in the thumbnail. She's got a countdown.
Come on, ahead. Jill on the Rampage. It's a must watch.
Bella graduates, and Miss Anna Kendrick gives the valedictorian speech. It's a quirky,
beautiful.
fun little speech.
It's good.
It was a great speech.
And I was like, wow, this is one of the most interesting parts. I was like, once again, she's the most entertaining part of these movies.
I know. I was like, that's really
Really
powerful.
powerful. That's what I wanted.
Then they have a house party thrown by Alice at the Collins house.
Oh my god, the Colin house.
So everyone's like, whoa.
Wow, divas.
Cool lights.
Yeah.
Cool, I thought.
I like the lights.
Not so live.
Pretty much, I thought Eclipse was good. I like the lights.
I thought it was fun. I like the lights.
Definitely, I thought it was fun. I like the beat. So.
Jacob and his wolf friends show up, okay?
With a
He's
gun.
like, you invited me, Bella. It's like, okay, well, me punching you in the face was me uninviting you.
Yeah, that was like edgy of her. I like that.
That was tea. She clocked the child.
She clocked the child. Alice suddenly has a vision, almost like a prophecy,
I know.
of Riley's army coming to Forks in 4 days.
4. You know you only have 4 days.
4 days, 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days.
30 minutes, yeah.
Do you know you have 30 minutes? Are you kidding me? 30, yes.
And they are passing around Bella's sweater that he took from her house to learn her scent. So they're going after Miss Bella, aka main character. Hey.
Miss Diva Boots herself.
I know, Bella was like, oh, they're going after me? And she like tucked her hair back behind her
And
ears.
they're all in her sweater like free.
She loves this attention, I swear. And the wolves and the Cullens decide to work together to fight the army. They all go out to the woods, and Jasper teaches both the wolves and the vamps some fighting techniques when dealing with these newbie vamps.
Yeah.
Okay? And he has a southern accent now.
Yes! All of a sudden.
That wasn't there
slipping
before.
in and out, and it's like really bad.
It's like, it sounds like a bad Matthew McConaughey.
Can I say
And
something
now
about
we
Jasper? Wait, can I say something about Jasper real quick?
Sure.
The actor who plays Jasper,
Okay.
he was just in Indianapolis, our hometown, for our Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah?
And he posted on Facebook, the actor, that he was in beautiful Indianapolis. He's so excited to be here. He's been loving it. But he went and got a burger from the worst burger place ever. And then he called out Brew Burger and said it was nasty, flavorless, all this bad stuff. And we're about to fight. Like, if he's still in town, we're fighting. I'm gonna find him and fight him.
Fuck you, Jackson Rathbone.
Right. Like, don't come to my city talking about Brew Burger like that. I love Brew Burger.
We get this fun little montage of everyone fighting each other and doing gymnastics.
I love gymnastics. I always wanted to do gymnastics as a kid.
You know, I work for, like, gymnastics. Like, that's part of, like, my job.
Yeah.
And I'm really getting into it nowadays. But I thought that the Twilight gymnastics was, like, very clearly all stunt doubles.
Yes, it was.
And, again, like, this green screen's bad. Got
Green
more
screen.
running going around. And
Jasper and Alice kiss.
that was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Even though Alice, her hair still looks mushroomy.
I think she looked kind of like coconut head.
Coconut head.
It was
Thank
very
you.
coconut heady.
It was very coconut head. Bella is petting and talking to Wolf Jacob. And
Yeah,
this is
This is
where
where the meme comes from.
the meme of Kristen Stewart behind the scenes acting alongside Taylor Lautner, but he's in one of those like green morph suits.
The green screen
green
suits.
screen suits.
And she's like actually petting him, and it's so funny.
Bella talks to Jasper, and we learn his background as a Confederate soldier.
He casually drops it. He's like, yeah, because Bella's like, oh, where'd you learn all these? He's like, yeah, you know, the Confederate Army didn't really prepare me for this. And she just doesn't even question
No,
that.
we are just like, oh, okay.
Because he goes into his whole backstory, and I just was watching, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm still a Confederate soldier. You
Yeah,
can't just casually drop that.
Jasper fought for the fucking Confederacy.
Now, Stephenie Meyer,
I have some
why
questions.
did you do that? You didn't have to do that. There are a million things you could have done. But you chose to do that. You chose to deliberately make him a Confederate soldier. So basically, he gets turned into a vampire while he's a Confederate soldier by this woman who he claims was using him as a puppet.
Sure.
The same way
Victoria
is doing to Riley. That's the parallels.
But I'm also like, is this supposed to, was Stephenie Meyer trying to compare the Confederate Army to this? Like, they were puppets?
How do you feel about...
Because it didn't connect that way.
Slavery.
Like, yeah, girl, I need a...
Then that night, Bella has a dream about Victoria. And they realize...
And it's like a weird lesbo dream.
Yeah. Victoria has been behind the army the whole time.
Yeah.
Duh.
Are you dumb? Are you stupid?
They practice the whole, like, we have to mask Bella's scent plan with Jacob carrying her up the woods. And it pretty much is just, like, him perving on her in the woods some more.
Yeah.
This was so gross in retrospect to watch because he was like, I know how I make you feel. I make you nervous. And it's like, you make you nervous because you're
crazy.
Like,
you forced a kiss on me.
Prey on her.
Well, and it's like also like the tent scene is so uncomfortable in a little bit. Of like the two of them talking about Bella. Like,
I don't really like any scene that involves Jacob in this movie. I just find him very unbearable. So I don't really get why people were ever Team Jacob. I really think it was just
hot.
I think that was it.
It was just because he was hot.
It was Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
And that was the only reason. But anything else, I'm like, plot-wise, I'm like, he's awful.
But
he's just
also,
awful.
like, you know, we were all, like, underdeveloped brain people going around.
So we didn't see this as toxic.
Right.
No.
We would have probably seen it as like, oh no, he like really cared about her.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. At Bella's house, Alice has become buddy-buddy with Charlie, which I thought was really funny.
Good.
He's like, don't be a stranger, Alice. I thought that was really funny.
I love Charlie.
I love Charlie.
Yeah.
And Alice stages this whole thing for Edward and Bella to have the night alone at the Collins house.
She also calls him Charlie, and Bella's like, you're on a first name basis, and she's like, oh, he likes me, just not my brother.
Yeah, that was funny. So, yeah, she's like, Bella and I are going to have a sleepover, wink, wink. And Bella has a sweet heart-to-heart with Charlie.
I love her scene with Charlie, too.
Yeah, me too. This is funny about, like, safe sex.
Yeah. She's like, Mom already gave me that talk 10 years ago, and he's like, well, you didn't have a boyfriend 10 years ago. She's like, I'm pretty sure everything works the same.
Nothing's changed.
That was really funny.
And she's like, Dad, I'm a virgin.
Okay, Bella. That's not,
He's like, I don't want to hear that. Don't say that. And then when she leaves, he's like, a virgin. I'm starting to like Edward more.
That was good. Okay, so that night, Bella and Edward have the house to themselves. Edward gifts her with the fucking diamond on her fucking keychain.
You just casually had that.
Right? And she's like, thanks.
Oh, thanks, I guess. Thanks, I guess.
Oh, okay. And there is now a full-ass king-size bed in his room just for this one night. I thought that was kind of funny.
Right.
Bella is like, okay, let's fuck, right? Like,
we're fucking.
And she starts to, you know, seduce him pretty much. And he's like, Bella, I'm on the abstinence club.
Yeah.
He's like, Bella, stop stripping me. Stop stripping. And she's like, oh, do you want to do that part? And he's like, ew, no.
Vagina.
Gross.
I'm abstinent.
I want to wait till we're married.
This is
She's
my
like,
purity ring.
He has a
like,
purity
are
ring.
you kidding me?
Yeah, so that's his whole thing. And basically, so now Bella's like, oh, if I can't fuck you unless we're married, I guess we can get married. She's literally like, fine. I just need the dick, so...
I'm desperate.
I'm desperate. I'll marry you. He then proposes to her with some tacky costume jewelry.
The ugliest.
What was this ring? Hideous.
It's so ugly.
It is
ugly.
Ugly.
Steve, if you ever proposed with that ring, I'd say no.
Well, you're proposing to me. And if you ever proposed to me with that ring, I would say no.
You'd say, ew, is that the ring? And I'd say, ring from Eclipse, yes.
I'm like, no, thank you.
If you guys get married, I'm going to be like, you guys are corny. I hope you know that. I'll be like, oh, that's corny.
I think we should go at our wedding. Like a Vivs.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I would have stopped the whole wedding. I was in Viv's position. I would have been so mad.
Cut! Back to zero!
So...
Viv thought it was cute. Okay.
Viv's better person than I am.
Yeah. We see Victoria and how she has successfully gaslit Riley into doing all this shit for her. Bryce Dallas Howard is not giving me what needs to be done.
No.
Which we already kind of talked about. It's the day before the battle, and Bella doesn't want to wear her tacky costume jewelry ring. So
I wouldn't either.
Real, girl, real.
You'd be like, why aren't you wearing the ring? Oh, no.
It's ugly. It's ugly. That's why I'm not wearing it.
It needs to be resized.
It's so fancy. I didn't want to.
And
it's so
I'm afraid of ruining the diamond.
It's so it's you know what? Fine. It's ugly. It's ugly. I'll say it's ugly. God.
So Edward leaves her to go up to the mountain with Jacob, and before he goes off though, he like French kisses her beanie hat that she's wearing.
Yeah.
Like he tries to kiss her on the forehead, but he like just gets a mouthful of like knitted beanie.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I was like, ew. Like,
I didn't notice that.
That just kind of bothered me. We see the newbie vampire army rise up from the lake with their
Rise up.
This was very spooky.
Yeah, it was.
Very spooky.
Ookie, ookie, kooky.
That night, there is a snowstorm, and Bella is freezing in the tent. So Jacob comes in to snuggle up to her.
Get naked.
And he says, well, I am hotter than you, to Edward. And
Stephenie Meyer knew what she was doing with that writing.
Oh,
yeah, this is gay. This is gay.
Oh, can you imagine?
They kissed over Bella's sleeping.
I was like, this could have become a Brokeback Mountain situation.
That would have been cunty. Okay, did you guys know that there was this magazine that came out? I think it was like People magazine or something. But that featured an article that was promoting Twilight Eclipse, right? And there was a photo shoot that they did with Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, Taylor Lautner, where it was both of the boys, like Kristen was in the middle and they were both kissing her on the cheek. But there was this big trend of people would fold the pages so it would look like Rob and kissing. Taylor were kissing.
I haven't seen that.
And I totally did that. So basically they're having this cunt off in the tent while Bella...
It's kind of creepy.
Bella
gross.
pretends to sleep. And it's clear that Edward is the better choice for her.
100%.
In this scene. Like, he just wants her to be happy. He doesn't think selfishly about his feelings towards her. Whereas that's exactly how Jacob feels. He's like, well, I don't care if she's happy. I just want her to be with me.
Right.
Like, that's more...
miserable, I don't care. She's with me.
And it's very selfish and just really turns me off of Jacob. And the morning of the battle, Edward... it does something shady here.
Shady lady.
He knows, because he can read thoughts, that Jacob is listening. And he brings up their engagement.
Yeah, this was really like a soap opera pivot to this love triangle of there was a soap opera I remember watching when I was a kid.
This sequence is so boring.
Boring.
Because you're like, wait, the fight.
Yeah.
And I think if the fight had been expanded to be like, they kind of go in between the fight and this, it'd be more interesting.
Montage,
sure.
like you said.
Thank you.
You already said that.
Yes.
Montage.
Yeah.
It's too blocky.
So Jacob hears this, and he's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go kill myself now. I guess I'll go kill myself. She's like, no, don't kill yourself. And then she goes, Jacob.
You're sexy.
She's like, Jacob, kiss me, because she knows that's like the only way to get him to not go kill himself. So he kisses her. It's I don't like it. I don't like it. It's weird. And now he's not depressed anymore, so he'll go and like do the fight, whatever. Also, I wrote side note, Taylor Lautner is not even half the actor that Rob or Kristen are.
No.
He sucks. Can we talk about this?
Oh, he's so
it's
bad.
It's really bad. And like the first two movies, I didn't notice it as much.
Because he
didn't have that much emotional
He's not
range
as prevalent in the first two.
He does better when Jacob was goofy.
Comedy. Yeah.
He does not do good when Jacob is serious and starting to be like this like tough hard ass.
It's like, throw a little sharp
it doesn't work. It's weird, especially when you know that like his character is younger than them, like younger than Bella. It's like I just don't buy it.
He just comes across as like a whiny little bitch.
I just don't buy it. That's the other thing. I mean, it might just be the writing, but like the characters, like the acting sucks.
The acting sucks. Down at the battlefield, the battle begins.
Finally.
Ding, ding, ding. In this corner, we got newbies. In this corner, we got oldies.
Oldies. News versus olds. Yeah.
Who's
New
gonna be
school
shirts?
versus
Who's gonna
old
be
school drag.
Who's gonna be shirts? Who's gonna be skins? That was my question.
Ooh. I think that this action scene sucks.
Yeah, it's poorly done.
Oh, it's very comical. It looks like it's a clip out of the Twilight parody Vampire Sucks. Like, it's almost that
It was
corny.
giving Vampire Suck. Yeah. Victoria has tracked down Bella and Edward's campsite, and her and Riley show up to confront them.
Like, we
Edward-
got you. You thought you were sneaky. We're sneakier.
Oh, yeah. They're like, oh, clocked your gag.
Oh, you thought the child was tea, but we clocked your gag.
But the finna was mother. Edward tries to tell Riley about Victoria's gaslighting. Like, she's lying to you. Like,
She doesn't love you.
yeah.
She doesn't care if you live or die. You know, she actually told me that you stink.
Right.
That you're smelly.
Oh. But Riley, like, doesn't care. He attacks anyway. He's
And Victoria's over there like, no, like, I'm the only one who can calm him down. Like, he listens to me. No, like, no, look at me, Riley.
Look at my
me.
titties.
Look at me, look at me, look at me. I love you. I love
Riley,
you.
I will give you head later. Like,
Sloppy vampire hat.
Kill Edward, please.
look
Like,
at these juicy titties. Edward, look.
He's
Look at
lying.
these.
He's lying. Grrr.
So the young wolf Seth, who I didn't talk about, but he's like the newer. I think he's Leah's little brother. Is
Yeah.
that- okay. He jumps out and starts chewing up Riley, and then Victoria is like starts to dip.
Yeah, like, I'm not getting involved in this.
Yeah, and
Dogs.
Edward talks some shit at her.
Right.
Like, bet you won't. Hey.
Oh, you're
I
ready.
killed your boyfriend.
Yeah.
I killed your boyfriend. I killed your boyfriend.
Right? That's literally the vibe.
Oh, Skinny Kiss is what?
He's like,
And then this is when Bryce Dallas Howard gives
her unconvincing, like, mean, scary face. It was bad.
She like does the thing where like she thinks, oh, if I tuck in my chin and furrow my brow, I'm gonna look really intimidating, scary. And then she just does a
Yeah. Yep, that's really exactly what
and
it
then
was.
she runs at Edward and then they just kind of fight for a bit.
Yeah, it's like a showdown, but like, who cares? And then Riley gets back up, and they almost overpower Edward.
And then Bella remembers the story that the natives told her. So she grabs a rock and cuts herself. And then they get distracted by the blood.
Notice, she doesn't kill herself. Because
gut her.
She just like cuts her arm.
She
She's
didn't
like,
have to do all that and say,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
be
to kill
stupid.
myself like that the third wife did to be dramatic.
She was like, here, take notes, third wife.
Third wife. She-
Cut her arm.
Yeah.
And then it distracts Riley, so then Seth, the world?
Seth, yeah.
Is able to get Riley.
Uh-huh.
And Riley's like, Victoria. Victoria's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about you.
Right?
It
That
goes
was
back
funny.
to Edward.
Victoria's like, what's your name again?
And so Riley, done.
Yep, Dunzo, and then Edward overpowers Victoria.
But not in
And
your
rips
fanfiction.
off her head.
She gets her head chopped off.
And-
Which was satisfying.
And then she instantly bursts into flames.
That's why he throws that Zippo lighter at her. Boom! It was like she was fucking gasoline.
And I
bitch.
was like, you didn't pour any lighter fluid?
No, I guess vampires are just extremely flammable.
Like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
But remember, everyone, in Parker's soon-to-be released fanfiction, Charlie would then come in at this point and save Riley.
Y'all, I'm gonna write
No,
that.
I know. I'm trying to help you with this because the other day you were like, I want to write a fanfiction. So here you go. Like, this is it.
Seth, or does he convince Seth to like stop?
Oh, he convinces Seth to calm down.
I think, Charlie's still good. Like,
because he's a dad. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, and he's sexy. He's like,
and he's sexy. Yeah. So one of the last remaining newbies attacks Jacob and breaks his rib, or I don't know what was something.
Yeah.
Bones were broken. So the wolves take him. Like,
the Volturi are coming.
Yeah, the Volturi show up, including
out of
Miss
nowhere.
Jane, who
Miss
noticed
Jane Austen herself.
She notices Bree Tanner from the short Second Life of Bree Tanner, the critically acclaimed novella.
She's still alive.
And and Carlisle and Esme like felt sorry for this.
Yeah,
like
we're
she
giving
said,
her
she like
sanctuary.
surrendered and said
She didn't want to do it.
she didn't want to do it, so we'll take
We're
take responsibility for her.
sanctuary and
Jane's like, oh, that's cute. I'm still gonna kill this bitch.
We're not gonna do that. And they basically know that like Because Edward's like trying to talk shit to the Volturi, and Carlisle's like, "Will you fucking knock it off?" Like
Edward is clocking Jane's gag because truly, like Jane, I think wants to take over the Cullens. I think she definitely was like holding off on purpose so that this army would kill the Cullens. Yeah. She doesn't like them, and I think he's like
clocking.
He's basically
because
like
they know that the head of the Volturi really want them to join them,
and she's probably like jealous. I think
well because Carlisle was a Volturi,
and she also notices that Bella's still not a vampire, and they're like, what's going on? She's like, date's been set, so calm down, Miss Red Eyes.
But
stop staring at me with those eyes.
Delivers a really great line with her red eyes, and she has them all big. When they're like, "Oh no, Bree Tanner, we're taking her," like she just made a mistake, and she with her eyes staring at Carlisle and goes, "The Volturi don't give second chances."
Ooh, yeah.
And she's staring him down, and he's like, "Oh, don't look at me like that.
Don't make that face."
Yeah, she's like,
that
wasn't your decision to make. And then she's like, bodyguard, kill him. And so like the bodyguard like comes
rips her head off.
Yeah, chops off her head.
So R.I.P. Bree.
It was a short second life. Truly was a short second life.
Stephenie Meyers, you nailed it with that title.
At Jacob's house, Carlisle helps mend Jacob's wounds, and so there seems to be like some sort of
an understanding, a peace treaty,
I guess, for now. Bella goes and visits Jacob, and they have another boring combo about how she's. But basically, the whole like bottom line is, I still choose Edward.
Hey, love what you did back there. I'm gonna choose Edward.
Yeah.
Hey, sacrifice yourself. I don't care.
Oh, ribs are broken. Oh, boo hoo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go make out with Edward.
Then we end with a scene of Bella and Edward chilling in their favorite meadow.
Again.
They're planning their wedding again.
This damn meadow gets a lot of screen time.
Boring. And Bella declares that she knows that she is making the right decision for herself to be a vampire. And her reasoning, because she's not like the other girls. I thought that was really funny, though.
I'm different.
It's
I'm
like,
quirky.
yeah, this is a reminder. Like, she's like, I was always different. And, like, not like the other girls. So this is perfect for me. Yeah, she does her, like, Bella-isms.
I think this is perfect for me.
I do.
I do.
Yeah, so
Twilight Eclipse.
Yeah, so like they kiss, whatever. It's over. The end.
End of the movie. Wow. So plot development, where we ended.
The movie's over. Thank God.
And now we have Breaking Dawn parts 1 and 2. Next
1
week.
and 2.
Yes, and we have a special guest next week who will be joining us for our double feature of Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2. And it is one of my besties, Miss Vivian.
Our little Vivi.
Our little Vivi, who gets a shout out pretty much every episode.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming for us to have her on the pod. She loves Twilight, or at least she loves to make fun of Twilight, just like we do.
Yeah.
And she said, I want to be on Breaking Dawn because that one's the chaotic one.
It's literally, from what I remember from part 1 is it's nothing really happens, and then the last like 20 minutes it's the most chaotic thing
it's like
ever.
Horror. Like it literally, I actually really do like Breaking Dawn Part 1 because it is a horror movie, like body horror.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
The chaos. Mm-hmm. It is just major chaos out of nowhere.
So I've been really excited to revisit that one. Maybe that one is like a little better than Eclipse, I guess. But then
Part 2.
Breaking Dawn Part 2 is the worst one. We don't need to get into it now, but like we're truly in the trenches in that one. Okay, next week we will be getting into the finale, but until then, thank you so much for joining us on this week of Let's Scream. We hope you had a fun time with us back in Forks with the backstories. And please remember to follow the pod, like the pod, and leave a glowing review of the pod, of course. We are at Let's Scream Pod on all the socials. And you can send us movie requests for future episodes. You can follow me at Parker_Will_C on Insta.
And you can follow me at StevieNash95 on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Jesus_is_biscuit on Instagram.
And until next time, this has been
Let's Scream.
Bye.